It's been a tough year for everyone, including student athletes desperate to get back to their normal lives and play their favorite sports. Well, tonight they have some good news. Western Mass News reporter Kayla Burton joins us live in studio to tell us how the game of basketball will still be played. Kayla?
Chris, good news indeed. But while everyone wants to get back to the norm, unfortunately, we're just not there yet. But instead of canceling the season like some other sports, officials are giving the green light to have basketball go on this season, except the game is going to look a lot different.
From jump ball to substitutions to halftime to even high-fiving each other. All pieces of the game of basketball that has been the difference maker between wins and losses. But now teams will have to find other ways to win without these factors, as the coronavirus pandemic is limiting how the game will be played this season.
Going into the season, it's just going to be like, you got to stay optimistic. You got to keep it in their minds that at least we get to play, at least we're here.
The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association implementing stricter rules to the game in order to keep teams COVID-19 free. Halftime will be eliminated, only allowing 2.5 more minutes to the end of each quarter. Jump ball to start the game also gone, as teams will do a coin toss where the visiting team calls heads or tails to determine who starts with the ball. Another takeaway, multiple substitutions at once. All rules, head coach of Minnechaug Regional High School girls basketball, Alyssa Darling, says has to take some getting used to.
I think you definitely have to teach the modifications while you're doing drills. That's definitely a huge thing. Whether it's scrimmaging, that you teach them that only one person subs in at a time and then the rest follow off the bench, or we have to stay spread out on the sideline while you're waiting your turn to get into the game, or we don't do any out of bounds underneath the hoop. We just do sideline out of bounds.
Studying fall sport teams, seeing how they've adjusted to the pandemic's checklist, Darling tells Western Mass News she's already strategizing on how to operate her practices.
At practice, there'll be smaller groups for individual, smaller group practices inside one big practice kind of thing. We have to try to eliminate so much contact and crossing and all that stuff.
And though winning is typically every team's goal, Darling says this year may be bigger than the final score.
It's more about growth as players in a team than it is about wins and losses. It's more of the fact that we can figure out how we work in the best thing that works for us.
All right, well, B-ball is a go. While many athletic directors across the Bay State are still trying to figure out how to operate practices and the upcoming season, many local schools are set to have their first practice on January the 11th. Live in studio, Kayla Burton, Western Mass News.